The girl is swimming in her own swimming pool. Suddenly, she notices that the pool water becomes endlessly deep. Countless bubbles rise up from beneath her feet. The girl desperately struggles to break free, and swims towards the edge of the pool. She looks at the pool fearfully. Little did she know that tonight was only the beginning of a disaster.
The water will sleep again.
Summer of 1992. Inside a suburban villa in the United States, the homeowner's young daughter awakens from her dream. She walks to the window, and sees a toy boat darting around in the swimming pool. It was the toy her little brother used to love before falling ill. The little girl intends to retrieve the boat. However, the toy boat sinks to the bottom of the pool. Her fishing net can't reach it. The girl moves forward. Suddenly, she is pulled into the pool by an unknown force. While struggling, she sees her mother approaching. The girl desperately swims to the surface, but she realizes that there is no one by the poolside. She feels scared and wants to leave, but her younger brother's toy boat floats up. The girl decides to swim back and retrieve the boat. She is pulled back into the pool. Several figures appear on the water's surface. The girl screams and struggles. After a while, she disappears from the pool. Several years later, the Ray family arrives at this villa. He used to be a star player in Major League Baseball. He couldn't return to the field due to illness. Ray wants to move to the suburbs with his family for a peaceful rest. He really likes the backyard swimming pool. Not only can it make the children happy, it can also assist Ray with hydrotherapy. Just then, he sees something in the water. Ray kneels by the poolside and reaches out to grab it. As a result, he falls into the pool. Blue plastic wrap around Ray. Scenes of playing baseball flash through his mind. Ray struggles desperately to swim back to the edge. The youngest son hears the sound. He calls everyone over. Eve hastily helps her husband into the house. Shortly after, the family of 4 moves to the suburbs. The 2 children also transfer to a nearby school. Fortunately, they adapt quickly. The eldest daughter, Izzy, develops a liking for a classmate in the swimming team. Their home swimming pool has been abandoned for a long time. The 4 of them clean it together. Ray discovers a clogged drain. He reaches in with his hand to check it. Unexpectedly, something cuts his palm. Immediately after, a sound comes from the drain. A large amount of brownish-yellow liquid rushes into the pool. They are afraid to handle it themselves. They hire professionals to fix it. The staff says that this type of pool is rare. The pool is filled with naturally filtered groundwater. When the clean groundwater fills the entire pool, everyone jumps in and has fun. Eve throws a coin into the water. She lets the 2 children compete to see who can retrieve more coins. Ray is also actively doing rehabilitation. He knows that the hope of full recovery is slim, but he still hopes for a miracle to happen. In the evening, Eve swims alone to relax. Unexpectedly, the pet cat runs to the edge of the pool to search for food. She is about to approach, but the little fellow runs away. Eve dives back into the water and continues swimming. She sees someone standing by the shore. She gets startled, and quickly raises her head. However, there is nothing by the poolside. Suddenly, the pool lights start flickering. Eve feels a bit scared. She quickly swims to the edge and gets out of the pool. She goes back into the house to confirm. She finds both children were asleep. Ray is also lying in bed watching TV. Could it be that what she saw by the pool earlier was just an illusion? Eve forces herself not to think too much. She prepares to take a shower in the bathroom. Meanwhile, the pet cat appears again. It sees a small boat floating to the surface. It emits a threatening growl from its throat. The next day, the youngest son, Jimmy, sees the pet cat's collar in the pool. The family comforts him not to be sad. Since there is no cat's body in the pool, it proves that the cat didn't drown. It's possible that it just ran out to play. Ray reaches out and retrieves the collar. He feels that the pain in his palm has disappeared, so he goes back inside and opens the bandage. To his surprise, the skin underneath is perfectly intact. Not even a scar is left. What could be the explanation for this? Ray stares at the pool in the courtyard with confusion. Jimmy didn't find his beloved pet cat. To prevent similar accidents from happening again, Ray adds a cover to the pool, to prevent people or animals from accidentally falling in. Unexpectedly, Eve falls into a nightmare that night. She dreams of being trapped inside the pool. She wakes up and realizes her husband is not there. Eve walks to the window and looks outside. Ray is actually swimming outside in the middle of the night. What's even more astonishing is that his physical condition is rapidly improving. Even the doctors haven't seen such a fast recovery rate. Only Ray knows deep inside. All of this is thanks to the magical pool. It can make wounds heal. It can restore damaged bodies to health. On that day, Jimmy also wants to swim in the pool. Eve is worried about accidents happening, so she lets him call for his dad to join him. Unexpectedly, Ray is exercising. He draws a lucky smiley face on his son's coin. He lets Jimmy play by himself for a while. Ray goes over once he finishes his last set. Jimmy sticks the lucky coin his father gave him onto a toy. Then he submerges himself and plays at the bottom of the pool. A dark figure approaches the pool. It throws a coin into the water. Jimmy thinks his dad is coming. When he resurfaces, he doesn't see anyone. Jimmy dives back in wearing goggles. He just picks up the coin from the pool bottom. Then a new one is thrown in. Jimmy stays in the water, picking up coins. One of them is thrown near the drain. Jimmy sees the figure appear again. He grabs the coin and floats to the surface to show off. But the figure is gone again. He feels strange in his heart. Could it be his sister playing a prank? Jimmy hides below the diving board. He hears a thud sound above his head. Someone is standing on the diving board. He quickly grabs the board and climbs up, but there is still nothing on top. Just then, a girl's cry for help comes from the pool drain. She says her name is Rebecca, and she wants to find her mom. It's pitch black inside the drain. He can vaguely see his toy inside. He reaches in to feel around. The toy is tangled in the girl's hair. Then a black hand grabs Jimmy. He is scared and shakes off the strange hand, swimming towards the pool edge. Jimmy tells his mom about what just happened. Eve suspects someone broke into the backyard, but they didn't find any clues. Ray tells his wife not to worry too much. Kids at this age have vivid imaginations. Maybe that Rebecca is just their son's imaginary friend. Ray thinks they should have a pool party, invite neighbors and classmates over. This way, they can help Jimmy find real friends sooner. In the afternoon, Eve takes their son to baseball practice. Ray also comes to watch. Everyone knows he is a major league player. They gather around the fence to join the fun. Fortunately, Jimmy performs well. The coach encourages Ray to come and give it a try. Anyway, it's just kids training. It doesn't matter. Ray does feel a bit tempted, so he takes out the baseball bat, eager to give it a try. But he misses 2 balls as soon as he steps in. Obviously, his rehabilitation is not complete yet, because the coach is Ray's good friend. He encourages him not to lose heart and try again. And this time, Ray feels the energy from the pool. He feels like he's back on the major league field. This hit is truly at star level. Everyone cheers. Ray finally regains his smile. In the evening, the couple is going to the hospital for a checkup. Izzy takes the opportunity to invite Marco to swim at her house. The two of them make bets and play games in the pool. They agree not to open their eyes. However, Marco sneaks out of the pool while Izzy's eyes are closed. Suddenly, the pool lights start flickering. Izzy can't help but open a small slit. She sees a figure ahead, so she reaches out and swims forward. Now Izzy finally opens her eyes. She vaguely sees something underwater, so she dives into the water to find the person. Unexpectedly, that thing swims behind Izzy. She thinks it's Marco playing a prank, so she dives back into the water to confront him. The dim pool gives a suffocating feeling. A few bubbles rise from below. That terrifying ghost face suddenly appears. It grabs Izzy's ankle tightly. Izzy struggles to break free and swims towards the light. At this moment, Marco has already returned to the pool. Jimmy gives a signal that Mom is back. Izzy can't let her parents discover Marco. She asks him to quickly leave through the back door. Moreover, Izzy hasn't told her parents about the pool, because the family has finally stabilized. Her father's health has improved. She doesn't want to cause any trouble for her parents. Soon it's the day of the pool party. Everyone is playing and laughing in the yard. The pool is crowded like boiling dumplings. However, Izzy stays at the edge, and doesn't want to get in the water. Her younger brother also doesn't get into the pool. Instead, he stays alone on the second floor. Jimmy sets up the camera facing the pool. He wants to capture any unusual activity in the pool as evidence. Ray is carrying his young fan on his back. He's playing games with a muscular man and his son in the pool. Meanwhile, Eve knows there's something strange about that pool. She feels a vague sense of unease, so she asks the real estate agent's wife, "Why has this pool been abandoned for 15 years? The agent knows she can't hide it anymore. She tells Eve that in 1992, the homeowner's daughter drowned in the pool. Upon hearing this, Eve is shocked. She asks the agent if the girl's name is Rebecca.
Wait, how did you know that?
Just then, Ray and the young fan finally topple the muscular man and win the game. The boy wants to leave the pool. However, Ray tightly grabs him. The unlucky young fan is dragged into the water. Fortunately, Jimmy on the second floor notices in time. He rushes downstairs to call his mom. Meanwhile, the coach notices that his son is in trouble. He immediately jumps into the pool to rescue him. They see 2 purple scratches on the boy's leg. It's clear that Ray exerted a lot of force. However, the coach can't blame him now. Ray is in shock. Fortunately, Eve provides timely first aid. Due to the relationship between the families, the coach and his wife, they don't report the incident to the police and arrest Ray. After this incident, Eve plans to move with her children. Although Ray doesn't want to give up hydrotherapy, he can't resist his wife's insistence. Just as the family is about to leave, Ray suddenly has difficulty breathing. veins bulge on his neck. Eve can only take her husband back to the house to rest. The doctor finds no abnormalities. Ray desperately pleads with his wife. He wants to go into the pool for treatment. The man's obsessed expression makes Eve feel unfamiliar. That pool is definitely problematic. Eve decides to drain the water inside first before making any further decisions. Shortly after, she starts investigating Rebecca's drowning incident. It's not just Rebecca who went missing in this house. In search of the truth, Eve drives to Rebecca's mother's house. She wants to know the details of the drowning case from that year. She explains that her own husband has also faced danger. Rebecca's mother ignores her. Instead, she boasts about her own son. She continuously brags about her son, claiming he is the ambassador to Washington, D.C. in China. She mentions his countless refugee rescues in Sudan. Eve interrupts the incessant chatter of Rebecca's mother. She wants to ask more about Rebecca, but Rebecca's mother remains tight-lipped about her daughter. Eve notices an indoor water feature in the house, and whenever she coughs, she drinks water. Eve has a suspicion in her mind. Could this water be the same as the underground water in the pool? Just then, Rebecca's mother suddenly speaks up. She asks Eve if she has ever used a wishing well. You throw a coin into the water, and your heart's desire will come true. In fact, some water possesses magical powers, and the water in the pool comes from a mysterious spring. In the past, Rebecca's mother had desires and greed, hoping her son would be free from illness. However, granting wishes requires a price. Her price was losing Rebecca, trading her daughter's life for her son's health. Rebecca's mother doesn't regret it at all. Eve tells her that Rebecca hasn't disappeared. That girl is still hiding in the pool, looking for you. Upon hearing this, Rebecca's mother starts coughing uncontrollably. Black water sprays from her oxygen tube. Rebecca's mother turns her head with a smile.
The water will sleep again.
She says that more people will find the pool, awakening the spring with their desires. Eve, seeing this, quickly leaves. Black liquid streams from Ray's eyes. When the two children return home, they don't see their father. Jimmy is about to drink water. He notices the cup vibrating. Just then, he hears a few meows. Jimmy approaches the pool following the sound. To his surprise, the pool is filled with water again. A ghostly face emerges from behind a pool float. It grabs Jimmy and pulls him into the water. Immediately, the pool cover starts closing. The blue plastic slowly closes. Izzy hears the noise and rushes out. Then Eve arrives at the house. The two of them work together to roll up the pool cover. Eve asks her daughter to go find their father for help. Then she jumps into the pool to save her son. However, there is no sign of anyone in the water. Black water gushes out from the drain. Eve crawls back to the edge and ties herself with a hose. Then she jumps back into the pool to search for her son. Unfortunately, the hose is of limited length. She unties the hose and swims deeper. The pool turns into a bottomless pit. Luckily, Eve quickly spots her son. She holds onto Jimmy and swims back. However, various people emerge from the water. They grab onto Eve and refuse to let go. The woman doesn't want to give up hope and struggles relentlessly. But it's pitch black, making it difficult to discern the direction. Just then, Rebecca appears. She gestures to Eve not to panic. Then she opens her palm. A coin with a lucky smiling face drawn on it slips out of her palm. It slowly floats in the right direction. Guided by the coin, Eve successfully returns to the edge. Meanwhile, Izzy slips on the wet ground. Her palm is pierced by broken glass. She pulls out the glass and covers the wound. She looks around for her father's figure. Just then, Ray finally appears, but he disappears in an instant into the hallway. Only black water stains remain on the floor. Izzy realizes that her dad is acting strange. She wanted to take out her phone and call the police, but the next second, she was knocked down by Ray. Izzy got up and ran towards the garage, but she couldn't open the garage door, because she didn't have the key. She could only hide in a dark corner among the clutter. Just then, the television on the side suddenly turned on. Before Izzy could recover, Ray found her location. Fortunately, the man didn't make any other moves. He simply locked his daughter in the garage. However, Izzy noticed a baseball bat hanging on the wall. At that moment, Ray walked over to the poolside. Jimmy, who was drowning, was still in a state of shock. Eve wanted to seek help from her husband, but Ray lifted her up into the air. In a critical moment, Izzy rushed in. She knocked down her father with the baseball bat. Ray spewed a stream of black water from his mouth. His sanity briefly returned. Two forces were constantly pulling against each other. In the end, love for his family overcame desire. Ray finally returned to normal. Eve and Izzy hurriedly carried Jimmy away. Just then, the pool slowly turned black. Jimmy started to cough in pain. Terrifying veins appeared on his neck. Ray looked at everything in front of him. He knew that while making a wish, he must also pay the corresponding price. If he didn't sacrifice himself, Jimmy would die. All of a sudden, Ray dives into the pitch-black pool. In the blink of an eye, his figure vanishes. Jimmy immediately returns to normal. It is presumed that Ray would also transform into a monster, forever remaining in the depths of the drain. Now, the nightmare is finally over, but they have forever lost their beloved family member. In order to prevent the tragedy from happening again, Eve has someone fill up the pool. The movie concludes at this point. This is a horror film produced by James Wan. The film focuses more on atmospheric depiction. It highlights the sense of insecurity and suffocation when submerged in water. Several thrilling underwater scenes are quite intriguing. They immerse the viewers in the fear of being trapped underwater. Audiences are very critical when rating horror films. Objectively speaking, this film is a decent attempt.